96th Street. Born in the boogie down, but I love Passaic like I was born here. I had an opportunity to go to Birmingham, Alabama in October. Came back day before the November 4th election. Those of you that know and have watched history or read it, and there's a certain park, which is right across the street from the 16th Avenue Baptist Church where the 4 little girls were murdered. And in that park are lifelike statues of the hoses, the police, the batons that they used, the dogs. In fact, you go through this certain structure, and as you walk through, there are dogs cast in iron, and you sense a little bit of what our folks have went through then. I was sick with the flu all last week, so I was home. Sister Doshana called me and said, we're going to have a rally because someone had police brutality again. And it's sad to say I wasn't even shot. And I said, I'll get out my sick bed, I'll do what I have to do. But I didn't know the particulars. I'm getting ready Saturday against the advice of my best friend Katie. Like, you guys, I gotta go. And there is the Passaic, a rally. So no one can have the excuse they didn't know that there was going to be a rally because it was in all the newspapers and it was in all of the channels. I looked at that video and was stunned at the brutality of it. The senseless. And in my head, I was, is that guy high? Is he on, what is wrong? He was attacking this brother as if he had broken in his house and stolen his woman or his money. Or as they said, the bicycle. He just was, it was so mindless. And the other one, she running around like, if Brother Ronnie and his mom is one of the sweetest people. We're members of Mount Pilgrim. She works hard in the church. She works hard in the community. Always has a smile on her face. Her son doesn't bother anybody. I live downtown, but I know of Ronnie.
Never.
The problem we have is insensitivity, and folks, it used to be that we need folks from our community to police us, to protect and serve. Now the problem is folks that you went to school with, or people, or sons and daughters of folks that I went to school with, they're acting the same way folks were acting in the 60s. Now, I'm a child of the 60s, class of 69. We're the ones who took over the high school for 3 days. So I don't care, because I am a firm believer in what the last poet said. And those of you that know the last poet. It's better to die for a cause than just be cause. When we stop this madness, and the madness of not speaking out, because our silence is just as deafening as the thunder that was raging last night. As the brother said before, many have not been here since Pernell Brooks. Mm-hmm. Many have not been here since Sister Barksdale, or even kept contact with her. My question is, total transparency is what they're saying is going to take place. And I hope that a certain member of the legislature will stop twittering, stop looking at your electronic device, and pay attention to what we're saying. Total transparency means reviewing a total dissection of the Passaic internal affairs. We need to know how many files are there. What is the status of each one of those cases? What we need to have in Passaic is a civilian complaint review board. That is adamant. That is something that needs to take place. And that can start now. You don't have to wait for the prosecutor's office to do that. There's some things that could take place now. Find out what's happening in other cities. And it's very disheartening if someone was sent to Mrs. Holloway's house. Mayor Bloomberg, and I don't agree with everything he does, but I have to give it to him. When something happens in that city, that means it's right there. When that happened to that brother, when they murdered that brother, Bloomberg was right at that house. Governor Patterson went to the house. They didn't wait to see whether there was any cause or effect or if the police officer did anything wrong. If you do not want to suspend this man without pay, you can do that. Take the money that he would have had, put it in an account, draw some interest, and if you have to end up having to pay him because there's some foolish jury is going to side with him, he'll have his money and you'll have your interest. But make a statement and make a claim and stand up for what's right. He needs to be suspended without pay. He needs to have the legs. The brother said the legs taken out from under him. And a message has to be given to the rest of the police officers who, from what I understand from police officers I'm friendly with, that young lady's going to have a hard way to go. Because they felt she should have helped him arrest her and stop the whole thing. So there's a mentality, and it is a gang mentality. There's a good gang, and what is a gang? They have the same colors, same philosophy, same rules. Okay? I'm a member of a gang, Board of Education. Philosophy. No, wait a minute. I don't agree with everything they do. Never mind. I'll take that back. But the philosophy is the same. They have this code blue, they bleed blue, and they stick together. And it needs to stop. And the righteous cops need to say, you are making us look bad. If we have to address our community and make sure that they are held accountable and we're making sure our children are responsible, I'm speaking as a mom of a son. I am speaking as the sister of 2 brothers. I am speaking as a grandmother of 5 grandsons and 1 on the way. My son told me it's a boy that's coming any day now. I am speaking of future grand male sons and daughters and everyone that's part of my community, that when I lay my head at night and when the Lord takes me for my final rest, that we have done all that we can to make sure their future is bright. Right. In the city of Passaic, down there at Breland Village, and I could talk about Breland, young sister, Keishana Mack at the corn meet, the young people are standing out there. And I resent that Officer Patel and Izzy are not there anymore. These are the ones that were coaches with our kids, with Pop Warner, Rico and all. They were with our kids, and they knew them. Here comes some cops that didn't know our guys. They didn't know of them. And she said, Miss Ed, you got to come out here. They got your son, they got Shimmy and Everett and them against on cars. My grandsons had never even been suspended from high school. Because we make sure. And not because, and when children do things that they shouldn't, doesn't mean parents are allowing it. Sometimes children make bad choices. These had not so far. I don't know what tomorrow may bring. I will never be one to say mine won't or mine didn't. This police officer had these young men, and one of them is the brother of a cop. He had little Javier Catala up there. And I said, wait, what is going on? Well, I don't know them, and they're hanging. I said, that's why we have benches. We have benches in front of our home. We all don't have finished basements. We all don't have backyards. We all don't have swimming pools. They're sitting on the benches. They're not bothering anyone. And I'm like, he said, oh, well, you know what? I said, that's the problem. You don't know our young folks. You come down here like an occupying army. You should get to know these young men. Walk up and down. The problem we have is right around the corner. They're hanging out there selling pharmaceuticals without a license. You're not even bothering them. But these are safe for you. He turns around and says, oh, okay, let me get to them. By the way, do you sell drugs? Do you sell drugs? I said, there's no need for you to get smart. You need to get up out of here. So, of course, I did what I had to do. I spoke to the president of our association, Katie Johnson, and he's no longer stationed at 6th Street. But how many other young people he's harassing now? There's a systemic problem in the city of Passaic with some of these police officers. And I'm telling you now, some young brothers are not going to stand there and just go, that's right. Some young sisters are not going to stand there and go, and I, as a grandmother, a nana, and I take that role seriously, a sister of this community, I'm not going to stand for it. I will stand up and do whatever I have to do. And we as mothers, we're going to do it. And these brothers are out here going to do this as well. and that means my Latino hermanos, the Yiddish, whoever they are. We all have got to stand together and make sure that this community belongs to us. And we don't have to wait for an election, y'all.
That's right.